Hi, I'm Leonie West from Westerly Design, and I'm going to show you how to sew our Circles on Quilts Honeycomb template. This template is different from our other Circles on Quilts templates in that we can make the honeycomb in various sizes, 15.5 inches, 13.5 down to 3.5. And we do that by stopping at different points which are marked on the template. We're going to sew a 15.5 inch honeycomb, and we're going to sew 16 rotations. This can also be sewn in different numbers of rotations. 16 rotations means our template will touch here as it goes around the quilt. If we do 8, we'll have a space between it. If we do 12, we'll have a space between it. So there's a lot of variations we can do with this template. I've brought the threads up and I'm going to sew up to the top and come down again. Our reference lines are sitting on the reference lines that are marked on the quilt, and we'll just sew around this. When we get to the bottom of this, we're going to create a circle. That's why we have the hook in the end of the template here. One of the things when we're working honeycomb is remember that we're rolling gently around these points. You don't want to come around those points quickly, because if you do, you will probably come off and not line up nicely. So we're just rolling them gently around these points. We're not trying to make that point come out to a straight line where it touches. It's just a gentle roll. So we're up the top. Remember, when you get to the top, do an extra stitch in there, and that prevents your stitches from pulling in. So we're now coming down and just rolling around. It's not really a difficult template to sew. Just remember to roll around those points. Just gently go around them. So we come down here. And this is probably the hardest part about this template. When we get here, we're going to have to float from here to touch that edge of the template. So we come down, keeping the template in place until we come off the template, and just float down. We're now going to come back. We're going to come around to here and stop. We're now going to rotate the template, line up again with our reference line, and we're now going to sew back up. Also, when using this template, remember these little points will have a tendency to pick up, so make sure that you hold the template down when we're coming around the points. You'll get the feel of it very quickly. Why it's called honeycomb is because it looks like honeycomb out of a beehive. So we get to the top, do that extra stitch and come down. I like to just keep my fingers in place on a couple of spots here. If you notice, this is a template with a pin located in the centre. And if you notice where my hand is down here, it's always holding around the area of where that pin is. So we come down to here again, and we're just going to float back down to that line there. I'm going to sew up again, back to where I stopped, and rotate the template. Find the position you like to have your hands in when sewing any template. Sometimes you'll like your hands in one place, other times you'll like them somewhere else. Remember, we have these points, and we want to make sure those points remain down in touch with our fabric. And if you feel you're in the wrong position, just move your hands. We're coming back up to the top again, and we'll do that extra stitch. I'll keep sewing this, and we'll just stop shortly and come back to show you how the last one goes in place. Right, I've done 14.5 rotations, so I've only got one, this half and one more to go, and then this honeycomb will be complete. Honeycomb is a beautiful pattern to use with template quilting. You've got lovely shapes to cut out. You can cut out all of the centres, you could cut out the outside, you could do alternate centres. So there's a lot you can do with this shape. And we come back to the centre again. Remember that floating is not really that difficult. It's just thinking about where you're going and just stitching over a 1/2 inch. So it's not too hard. It's something that you do get used to doing. It's a great skill to learn because you can float doing lots of other patterns. And this is our last rotation. It's just as all templates, it's a matter of following your template edge. Don't press hard. Don't push hard against the foot. You can see where the honeycomb just touches the row of stitching on the row before. I'll just stop here for a second. So the honeycomb's just coming around and meeting its partner here. We do have a space at the top, and that's how it was designed. It wasn't meant to touch all the way up. It opens out when we get to the top. And now we've got just down the bottom. When I get to the end, we'll go floating across, do that doubled circle, and that's our honeycomb finished. I'll just take the template away. What you can do with this is, if you wish, you could leave the pin in here and now run a circle. That would be a 15.5 inch circle to come to the edge here, and you could use our Circles on Quilts template to do that. So I'll just take this off the machine and tie in the threads and show you the finished. And that's our finished 16 rotation honeycomb. These are the points where I could stop at. I could stop here, stop here, stop here. I can stop here. So I can create a number of different size blocks as well as a number of different rotations.